Good afternoon. My name is Rod Guthrie, and I'm the director of the Anatomical Gift Program here at Wright State University's Boonshoff School of Medicine. And I want to thank and welcome everyone for attending today's memorial service. And as we honor your friends and loved ones, we want to show our sincere thanks to all the donors and their families. Along with showing gratitude, we also hope to share some information about the Anatomical Gift Program, what our charge is, and how your loved ones help affect the completion of that charge. As we gather to honor your loved ones' memories and celebrate their lives, it's important to remember that your loved ones have not only enriched your lives, but they've enriched the lives of hundreds of students. And the anatomical gifts that are made by these extraordinary donors impact the lives of each one of us, and most obviously are the medical students. Many of them want to honor your loved ones. Please know that their presence here today is a voluntary act as a tribute to your loved one, as well as an outward expression of their gratitude. These students can easily be seen wearing their white coats. I hope you'll take time to meet and speak with them, and I know they look forward to meeting and speaking with you. So today we honor and remember your loved ones for their unselfish gifts. Due to their generosity, medical students, nursing students, physicians, and medical researchers, and many others have had the opportunity to learn about the structure and function of the human body. And that's what anatomy is. It is the study of the structure and function of the human body, and is the foundation of medicine. This is the basis for all medical practice. The study of structure is essential and only possible through the selfless acts of those who made the gifts of the remains to this as well as other medical schools. Without anatomy, there can be no physiology, no surgery, and no medicine. Thousands of young students have studied and been supported with these gifts made by your loved ones. And someday they will use this knowledge to treat tens or even hundreds of thousands of patients. So your loved one has the ability to affect hundreds of thousands of other lives. The Anatomical Gift Program here at Wright State University has been very blessed, and we've been so blessed because people from communities all around Ohio have seen the need for this type of teaching and have agreed to donate their bodies to med schools. Due to this support of so many, the School of Medicine has been able to expand our teaching opportunities. So the medical students are not only the beneficiaries of this knowledge, but we're able to open up programs for facial maxillary surgeons getting their residencies, orthopedic residents, the trauma team and the care flight team at Miami Valley Hospital, as well as heart and spinal surgeons take advantage of these learning opportunities on a regular basis. These gifts also make it possible for training of nurses, emergency medical technicians, respiratory therapists, and physician's assistants. And again, all of this is only possible because of the gifts of your loved ones. So I hope after today you will see how your gift, of your loved one's gift, remains will have a positive impact on the lives of thousands of people. Sometimes students want to write letters to their donors' families, and I have included two of those I'd like to read to you. I'm going to use the first name only. So the family of Mr. Richard. Our group wanted to write to you to thank you for his donation. Each of us has learned in ways we did not expect and have become better for it. We have learned more from him than any teacher or textbook could attempt to show us about the complexity of anatomy. The impact of his donation will reach to our patients. We will see when we finish our program, and each of us will be reminded of the knowledge that we gained from his great gift. Our deepest sympathies and prayers go out to his family and for your loss. And again, thank you for this lasting gift of knowledge in our future practice. With warm regards, thank you. And the second letter is, again, just using the first name, to the loved ones of Mrs. Cheryl. What a gift to learn from Cheryl. As both a professor and a patient, as a team, we develop responsibility to truly honor her gift. We gain complex understanding of the intricacies of life and viewing patients as whole persons and not a diagnosis. Through our time with Cheryl, we feel equipped with the knowledge and tools to better serve our patients. We will never be able to express our gratitude for her selfless act, but that has deeply shaped all of us. Because of her gift, not only have our lives been impacted, but every patient we encounter will always remember Cheryl as our first patient. Today we are joined by 3 individuals that also want to show their appreciation and love for your loved ones. Hannah Davison. Hannah is a first-year Boonshoft School of Medicine student, and she's also a Wright State University alumni. Prior to medical school, she participated in undergraduate anatomy programs like the outreach to high school students. She desires to become a pediatrician and hopes to serve locally or possibly on a global level. Hannah?
Good afternoon. From a young age, I was taught that 2 things matter most in life, no matter who you are or where you come from: the ability to pursue a better life and the ability to spend time with those you love. The honor of spending time with our donors has deepened these truths to me more than I could have ever imagined. As a first-year medical student, I know a very small portion of the knowledge that I will leave Boonshoft with. I'm nowhere near being a doctor yet. But ever since beginning anatomy, I'm no longer the same person I was when I walked into Boonshoft. My family has begun showing me the rashes and moles that they have, and I have no idea how to help them yet. But I can tell them what part of the body that is, and what nerves are there, and what arteries are there. And I would not be able to do that without the teaching of our donors. Their generosity, giving me the gift, and my classmates the gift, of the opportunity to learn, has given me lessons that I will never, ever forget. Before medical school, I often focused on how different my life was from those around me, and how different my friends' lives were from their friends, and the beauty in that. But now my perspective is shifting. I find myself focusing more on how deeply connected we all are. Beneath the surface, we are so much more alike than we are different. Across my undergraduate and graduate studies here at Wright State, I've had the honor of learning from donors in 3 different classes. I remember each of them. Every experience was unique, but the lessons learned were always the same and brought me to the same conclusion. We are so much more similar than we are different, and we have a shared humanity that unites all of us. The other gift that our donors have given us is time with loved ones. Because medicine is a team effort, we are constantly encouraged to study together and to grow together. Behind me is a friend that I might not have ever met if it was not for the time that our donors gave us together in undergrad. And behind you are new friends that are helping me to learn from and to care for our very first patients. Our donors have taught us that we cannot walk this journey alone, that we will never know everything, and that we must work together to provide the best care possible for those that we will one day serve. Finally, I want to thank you, the families, for the gift of time with your loved ones and for sharing them with us. Your generosity has blessed me and my classmates and every single patient that we will one day care for. Because of your kindness, countless families in the future will be able to trust the knowledge base and the compassionate care built here at Boonshoft. Words can never fully express my gratitude, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Trevor Leon is our next speaker. He's a Dayton native, graduating from West Carrollton High School. After high school, he attended the University of Cincinnati, where he initially was unsure on what he wanted to do, but luckily, quickly he found a love for trying to understand the complexities and inner workings of the human brain and mind, and decided to major in neuroscience. He decided to pursue medicine to continue this passion of neuroscience, and while having a direct impact on the individuals he will encounter in the future. As a medical student, he is committed to improving the ways of surgical aspects of medical education. Upon graduation, he plans to pursue training in neurological surgery, where he can utilize his passion of both neuroscience and surgery. Thanks. Trevor?
Hello, and thank you for that introduction. I just want to start by saying what a great honor it is to be here and speaking with you all on behalf of the medical school all of our students, my class, my colleagues, and I'm extremely thankful that I have a chance to share my personal appreciation with you as well. I'm sure some of you have known or maybe even been medical students out there, but I wanted to give a brief glimpse into our minds when it comes to our education. When you're in high school or as an undergraduate and applying to medical school, taking the admissions test, sometimes it feels like the information you learn is a means to an end, and that's to ace the test and stay afloat for the next one. When you transition to medicine and you put on the white coat and you take that inviolable oath, things seem to change. It seems like everything that you learn now is going to be what's going to save the life of your future patients. And that's a serious statement, but that really is the seriousness that we study with. What we've learned from your loved ones will not only benefit us, but will benefit the countless patients that we'll serve over the next 30 to 40 years of medical practice. And I have 130 students in my class. There's a lot of students in the med school, and that's a lot of years, and I haven't done the math, but that's a lot of patients that's going to be helped. So the decision that you and your loved ones made will be an everlasting impact. As we begin our studies, we get introduced to our donor, or as you'll hear today, we affectionately refer to them as our very first patient. And we'll come to spend countless hours with them. Throughout the day, if you can believe it, throughout the night even, we have 24-hour access. You'll find medical students in there learning from your loved ones. The gift that your loved ones give allows us to learn far beyond what we can learn in the textbooks or a lecture. It becomes a truly invaluable resource and a defining blessing in our medical education. We learn to an expert level the anatomy and the functions of the human body. Over time, we grow in knowledge. But alongside the anatomy lab, I wanted to share a few worthwhile highlights and some additional ways that the Anatomical Gift Program has benefited the students in this community. Throughout this school year, select high school students from around the community are invited to the medical school to learn from your loved ones. They explore the miraculous features of human anatomy, and perhaps for the first time in their lives, see the details that actually make life possible. You can witness the incredible inspiration in their eyes, and that's an inspiration that will eventually lead to them becoming the next generation of medical students, physicians, medical professionals, or educators. Other students, including myself, have had the chance to take part in a simulated surgical procedure. This is a unique opportunity that brought together medical students, nursing students, PA students, scrub tech students from multiple institutions across the Dayton community, all together to focus on one common goal, and that is to take care of the patient that was in the center of the room. And in that setting, it was a setting that was indistinguishable from real life. So to have that way to practice surgical skills in a safe environment where we're able to grow in confidence and technique that I truly believe will make all of us students better surgeons as we go to serve our patients in the future. When we meet your loved ones, we see their hands, which may have caressed their first child or held the hand of their spouse as they ran down the aisle after their first kiss, and their heart that many of you have felt thump deep in their chest as you gave them a big hug. And these are things that we don't lose sight of. There are things that we do know about them. We know their name, their education, their careers, and it gives us a few pieces of the foundation so we can begin to understand the lives that they led. But there's much more that we don't know. What was their favorite food? What did their laugh sound like? What was their favorite sports team? I see some Bengals fans out here. And their hobbies. All of the good and the bad days that really defined their lives. The details that made them them. I hope I can speak for all of us up here and all of the students in the back when I say that these are the details we'd love to talk to you about today. And we'd love to hear these stories about what made them them. But there's one thing that we do know for certain, that they were selfless. To plan for the end of your life is something I can't imagine. And we learn about the necessity of it in medicine, but to make that decision, to make the decisions at the end of your life is something I truly can't comprehend. For the patients and their families, I know how difficult that must be. Whether it was long planned in advance or one of the last decisions made in their life, they decided to give. And for that, we thank them, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
Thanks, Trevor. Vera Peters is our next speaker. She moved here from Northern Virginia to complete her bachelor's degree in biomechanical engineering here at Wright State University. She is currently working at Dayton Children's Hospital during her gap year before she joins the class of 2030 here at the Boonshaw School of Medicine. And we look forward to welcoming her to the school.
Good afternoon. Thank you again for joining us to help us honor the sacrifices these individuals have given to thousands of students in Ohio. During my time as an undergraduate student, I spent hundreds of hours in the anatomy labs with your loved ones. Even though there were teaching assistants in the labs, your loved ones were the real teachers. Without having to say anything to the students, they were able to teach us about human anatomy and showed us that no one is built exactly the same way, let alone like a picture in a textbook. After I completed the first year of anatomy labs, I entered the more advanced lab. Working with one donor, I developed a deeper connection to them. It may be strange to say, but when I would enter the lab to work, I would greet my donor and chat with them as if we were friends. When I first met my donor, I mentally thanked them for their decision to support my education and that I would care for them the best I could. Over time, chatting with my donor just seemed natural to do since we were now working so closely together. I would chat with them about what I was learning, or ponder about what they used to do for work or what they used to do for fun. By the end of the semester, I no longer saw them as donors, but as individuals. Getting so comfortable with them, I would refer to them as a patient, even to other students in the lab. Meeting them at a more personal level gave me the ability to appreciate the gift that they graciously gave more than ever before, and I was able to witness just how impactful their sacrifice will be for future students. About a year later, these donors were no longer my teachers, but we became colleagues. As a volunteer teaching assistant, I was able to work alongside them as we taught an array of students. My favorite group to help teach, and I'd like to think that it was their favorites too, were the high schoolers. Every Friday during the spring semester, a new group of high school students would come to learn to the anatomy labs to learn from your loved ones. Many of these students may not be planning on pursuing a career in healthcare, but together we will be able to teach them and show them something that they may never be able to experience again. Even though they may not be as passionate about anatomy or medicine, these students were amazed by what your loved ones had to teach them and would always leave the labs energized with the spark of curiosity. Our donors have impacted the Dayton community in immeasurable ways. I was blessed with the opportunity of working closely with a few of our donors, but learned from many more over the past few years. Each donor provides students like myself with invaluable learning experiences, each one having a unique lesson to teach us every single day. Due to their uniqueness, I do remember each one distinctively, and they have left an impression on me that will last my lifetime. I will always continue to honor them and think of them through my work, as well as any future donors I may have the privilege to work with once I enter medical school. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. At the conclusion of today's program, guests are encouraged to visit the Rockfield Cemetery. There you can see the final resting place for many of our donors. If you are going to the cemetery, we ask that you go to the front of this building. We have buses to take you down to the cemetery, and they will run on a continuous loop from here to the cemetery and back to the front of this building. And if you need any help and assistance in boarding, please let us know. We'll be happy to help. So today we have shared how your loved ones have impacted the knowledge and the study of the structure or function of the human body, our current careers, and all of our lives. Your loved ones' donation have had and will continue to have a positive impact on the lives of thousands of people. Once again, I'd like to thank you for attending today's service. And at this point, we'll conclude with a moment of silence for your loved ones. Thank you.